In English, we say no one understands, but in poetry, we say, you can tell me that you know me, but what can you possibly know? When only I can feel the way my bones ache with grief at the end of the day, and only I can hear the echoes of my own laughter when I was 8. When only I can mourn the fact and I've forgotten how to laugh that way. You can tell me that you know me, but what can you possibly know? About the texture of my sandpaper heart as it rubs uncomfortably against my ribcage, about the matchbox I kept in my back pocket, about my tendency to commit arson when a place or a person starts to feel too much like home. You can tell me that you know me, but what can you possibly know? If you've never looked into a mirror and been ridiculed by my eyes, if you've never found yourself begging for answers, pleading to the sky, if you've never planted flowers just to watch them wilt and die. And maybe it's vain for me to believe that I hold the only sandpaper heart in my chest, or that I'm the only one who leaves burn marks in their steps. Maybe I'm not the only one whose laughter is changed. Maybe you could know me, maybe we're the same. My dermatologist has asked me to eat one bowl of salad every day and no dairy. So this is the salad my sister came up with, and we love to eat this every day. I've been eating this for a while now, so I thought I'll share this with you guys. It's very simple. Boiled chana, that's chickpea, lettuce, tomato, cucumber and some croutons. I put a little bit of black pepper and half spoon of mayonnaise, and I love the taste. I'm really enjoying eating this and it's quite fulfilling. I am taking piano lessons, but I had to take break back to back in the last 4 months due to my work. So that's a lot of break than the class itself that I attended. In this time, I was finding it really hard to practice at home, as I was feeling a bit disconnected with the songs that I was given to practice, because that didn't really motivate me. I kept scheduling to practice it, but I ended up never practicing it for the last 2 months. I think I ended up not really being in touch with piano at all, but I always enjoyed the piano songs by artists like Noel, James Quinn, Gabriel, and the songs they play are so melodious and amazing, and I think I'm into those kind of melodies and songs. I have decided to practice on my own at home with those songs, so the lessons that sir will give me, I will also practice that, but this for my self-satisfaction I'm going to practice. One Monday last week, I found the keys to Interstellar song. I found the easy version first and then I searched for the full notes, and this one was first hard to understand to note down, but I got it after a few tries, and I've decided to practice this song Interstellar till I get back to my class so I can be in touch with piano while enjoying it. I will be joining my class from next week. So today I will be reading you Hansel and Gretel. Once upon a time, there were two children called Hansel and Gretel. They lived with their father and stepmother in a small cottage near a forest. Their father was a poor woodcutter. Their stepmother was very unkind to them. One day, the stepmother told the woodcutter, "The food in the home is not enough for all of us. You must leave your children in the forest tomorrow." "I can't do that," cried the woodcutter. But his wife somehow persuaded him. Hansel and Gretel overheard this conversation. At night, Hansel went out quietly and filled his pockets with white pebbles. In the morning, the children's stepmother woke them up. "Get up, Hansel. Get up, Gretel. Go with your father to the forest and fetch some wood." Hansel and Gretel followed their father into the forest. After every few steps, Hansel dropped a pebble on the ground. When they were deep inside the forest, their father, the woodcutter, said, "Children, rest here. I will be back soon." Night fell, but the woodcutter did not return. Gretel began to cry. "Don't worry, we'll find our way back home," said Hansel. The tiny white pebbles dropped by Hansel gleamed in the moonlight. The children followed the pebbles and reached home. Their stepmother was not happy to see them back home. She gave them some dry bread to eat. That night, she locked the door so that Hansel could not go out to collect pebbles. The next morning, the woodcutter once again led Hansel and Gretel away into the forest. After every few steps, Hansel dropped a small piece of bread on the ground. Once again, the woodcutter left them and went away. When night fell, Hansel and Gretel tried to follow the trail of breadcrumbs to reach home, but the birds had eaten them. The two frightened children wandered even deeper into the forest. They walked and walked. Suddenly, they came upon a strange cottage. Hansel exclaimed, "Wow, a candy house! It's made of chocolate cake, biscuits, and toffees." The children were very hungry. Immediately they started eating. Suddenly they heard a voice, "Who's nibbling at my house?" Hansel and Gretel looked up. There stood an ugly old witch wearing a green conical hat in front of them. The witch rubbed her hands in the glee and said, "Yum yum, I shall eat you both, but let me fatten you up a bit first." She locked Hansel in a cage and made Gretel do all the housework. A few days later, the witch told Gretel, "I am going to eat your brother today. Go and check if the oven is hot enough." Gretel replied, "I don't know how to check it." The witch screamed at her, "Useless girl, I will do it myself." As the witch bent down to look inside the oven to check the heat, Gretel pushed her with all her might. "In you go," shouted Gretel, and shut the door. She freed Hansel. They found a sack full of gold coins in one corner of the cottage. Hansel picked it up and they ran away from there. Hansel and Gretel found their way back home. Their father was very happy to see them. "Oh children, I really missed you. Your stepmother is dead," he said with tears in his eyes. Hansel gave him the bag of gold coins and said, "Father, you'll never have to chop wood again." They lived happily ever after.